Oh, they're right there. You don't care if I'm smoking in this? All right.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Half Past Dead Paranormal Radio. We are live on YouTube, and I am your host, Roger Belt, and I have with me Mr. Frank, and let me see if I can pronounce this right. On YouTube.
You can call me. Well, since we're here on YouTube,
me, Mr. Now, did I get that right?
What?
It's pronounced delguidice.
Delguidice. But since I'm here on YouTube,
okay.
I have a channel. They know me as Hard Dude 84.
And I was going to say that. You didn't give me enough
I'm sorry.
There, brother. But anyway, whichever name he goes by, this is a good friend of mine. He's a cool dude, and we're going to talk about old and new technology as far as not just ITC stuff, but just anything. Like there's a lot of old techniques that work really well that are not expensive, and there's a lot of stuff that you can pay through the nose for that you can do without spending all that money.
Exactly.
So we're going to get into a lot of different topics, and one of them I'm going to throw a picture up here. This one right here, if everybody watching can see this, Spectrocom.
The Spectrocom.
ITC imaging software. Let the spirits manifest visually to you. Now, I take this as they're saying that if you download their software or whatever, that with this software you can make spirits visually appear to you. Now,
not at all.
I call BS on that one, simply because I don't think there's a software out there that can make spirits appear if they don't want to. So, you know, it's if they appear, it's because they want to. It's not because you went and spent $1.99 or however much for a piece of phone software that you turn on and, okay, if I turn this on and do this right here, they're going to appear for me. That's just one of the things that we're going to be discussing is there's a lot of stuff out there that will lure you to spend your money, and it's a waste of time, and it's also a waste of space on your phone. Because these programs, some of them take up memory on your phone that could be used for something more worthwhile. Your opinion on that, sir?
Me?
What do you think about it?
Well, what do I think about it? Well, there are, certain applications. I don't like to call them applications. The ones that can actually do anything, I like to call them softwares because that's how they're used. They're just passed as applications that get sold to the people. There are, there is a certain allure to a lot of like different ghost hunting software. It's just like any piece of technology, though. It's like, here's the newest, next best thing. You have to have it, and this is what's going to happen when you use it.
Yeah,
and it's a bit ridiculous. Well,
and there are certain ones like that one that just spell out BS whenever I see it. Because making a claim like that, really.
Yeah. Well, you know me. I experiment with all these different apps.
And that's why you and I are having this discussion, because you do get into a lot of the experimentation, and that's what I like to see.
Yes.
Where you have done enough stuff with some of these things where you can say yes or BS. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And that's what the people need to know. Okay.
Yeah.
Now we just went over one that I found, and I say BS all the way on that one.
Oh yeah, I've never used it. This is the first time I've heard about it.
Well, when I see a claim like that, you can claim that you have a device that picks up AVPs. Now that would be hard to disproved because you actually may have.
Exactly.
But when you have a claim that you have a piece of software that's going to let the spirits visually manifest for you, no,
No,
I don't think so.
it's not going to happen because it's not a
No,
movie.
right. Tonight, starring
Yeah,
no. Um,
Cleopatra.
Now you've used EchoBox a lot,
Yes,
and I
a
have other
lot.
friends who use it and also claim that they have really good results with it.
Yes.
And I won't say yay or nay, really, on my part, whether you know, I mean, my son-in-law and I did an experiment with it, and we hooked it up to a sound system. Actually, what it was a um, like you have with your theater system, for your
Yeah.
TV.
Yeah.
We hooked it up through one of them.
Nice.
Now, you can't, and you know as well as I do that you cannot crank that volume all the way up on that thing
No.
unless you have it hooked to a speaker that's away from you, or it's
Yes.
going to do the whole weird, crazy stuff. Well, actually, the way we did it, we had about a 6 foot cord, and we had like our speaker system set up over on his freezer, and we had the phone, my phone, and everything running it, sitting on the table. So we
Right.
were a good 5 foot at least away from it, and it didn't squelch out or nothing. We had it cranked up, and we actually did hear some stuff that made sense.
Yeah.
Um, like they were telling us something about a grave in the backyard. Now that's not something you're going to normally hear, you
No.
know, from bits of language. Okay. Um, we asked for names and we got 3. And now this is also at the place where you came to,
Yeah.
where we actually got the disembodied voice at that one night.
Oh yeah, yeah. I
We
asked my
knew
wife.
there was stuff going on out there, okay, but
I still
yeah,
have that recording.
that was crazy, dude.
Yeah, I still have that recording. I had said something to my wife, just joking around with her, saying something like "be quiet," and you heard like a woman scoffing. It was weird. It was weird.
That was also where I sat down with my analog recorder and I asked if the lady was there that said she wasn't staying.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I didn't get an answer. I said, "Well, if there's anybody here, can you give me a name?" And I got Paul. This is plain as day. Um,
yeah.
but yeah, we did that with the Echo Box that night, and we got 3 names, and one was female and 2 were male.
Right.
And we went to the store, and the crazy thing was, is I took this with me when we went to the store, and if I'm not mistaken, this one guy's name was Charlie or something like that. Stayed with us all the way to the store and back. Kept, you know, I would say something and he would say something, and I would say something and he would say something, and
Right.
I can't remember what all it was. But now after that, it's like I didn't have any more luck with it. I couldn't make sense out of anything.
Right.
Now I don't know if it's just because where I was, there wasn't anything present, or whatever. But
Right.
that night it was just like off the wall with doing stuff. And frankly, and I know you know who I'm talking about. He
Right.
likes to use the Echo Box also, and he says that he has some very good results with it. In fact, on an investigation, I believe he said that he got a complete sentence in a basement from
Right. Yeah.
somebody that was hung in the basement or something.
Yeah.
And it's very rare that you'll get a complete sentence. You might get a name here or a couple of words there, but it's not real often that you get a complete sentence from anything.
Right.
Now, PSB 7. PSB 7 is it's really hard for me to concretely say I believe 100% in that, because it's skipping through radio stations.
Right.
Okay. Now, what are the chances that you ask a question like, are there any spirits here with us? And just by some chance, this thing is skipping through a station and something from a paranormal radio show comes through about that time. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And it
But
says, I'm here, or we're here, or something
right.
like that. You know,
All right.
you concretely say that, 100%. Um, Now, I have heard people say they have gotten whole sentences from those too. I never
Yeah.
have.
Right.
In fact, I can't remember ever getting anything from it so far. But now that don't mean I won't, and I don't
Right.
give up. But so far, I can't really say that I've gotten anything. Now, when we did the Halloween show,
Mm-hmm.
you were using the PSP 7, right?
I was using the PSP 7 and a bunch of apps.
And some stuff was coming through there.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
it's crazy how it'll do that sometimes. I don't know what it was about that place, but that place had a heaviness to it when I went in there. I
Yeah.
knew there was stuff going on. It just, and a lot of times it's like we always say, they don't come out on cue and play for you. So, even though you may know something's there,
Right.
that doesn't mean you're going to get anything.
Right. Exactly.
I did get one EVP from there that was really interesting. That was the one that said, go home.
Yeah. 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 I heard all that, and then the picture
Yeah.
that someone snapped, and then you color filtered it, and you can
Yeah.
actually see something there. And I'm like, oh my God, what is that? I showed it to Barbara, my wife, for everybody that's wondering. Oh, look at that. What is that? She was like, wow,
But when
that's
I heard that say go home, I'm like, okay, I think I know how they felt about us. But I mean, you got to admit, we were all in there and everybody was making all kind of noise. If I was a spirit in there trying to rest in peace, I'd be wanting somebody to go home too.
right.
Just saying. But yeah,
Exactly.
we used the PSB 7 when we were in there. We also used Echo Box when we were in there. Um, my camera decided not to act right that night, so we couldn't film anything. Now, I don't know if that's because they didn't want us to film anything or what.
Who knows?
I snapped pictures. Of course, I didn't see anything in the pictures, but well, except for that one picture.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I snapped a bunch of pictures, and that's the only one that you could even get an idea of. Now, the ones at the Stone Church place we went to.
Right.
Did you look at those pictures up above that wall? And it
No.
wasn't the moon, and it wasn't a star because it was raining.
Right.
But there was a bright light up above the roof of that thing,
Right.
or up above the wall. I didn't notice it at first. I was going through the pictures, I'm like, we didn't get nothing here. We didn't get nothing here. And then I looked at that one. I said, what the heck is that?
Right.
It was a UFO. I don't know.
Look at the bright light in the sky.
Yeah. But I mean, it was really bright, and it was like, if it hadn't been raining, I'd have swore up and down it was the moon.
Wow. No, I
But
didn't see that. I didn't see that. I wouldn't mind to see that picture though.
I should still have it in amongst there somewhere.
Okay.
But I know I do have some of the pictures of the inside of the church. I'm sure I still have that too.
Right.
But that was weird because, I just happened to look at that one and everything. And when I took the pictures, I didn't see it. But going back through the pictures, it's like this big glowing ball up there. And I'm like, what the hell is that? It wasn't there a while ago, and it's mist and
Yeah.
rain. We're standing out there getting soaking wet. So I know it wasn't the moon.
Right.
Wasn't no stars out. And it was too high up to be anything except for it would either have to be a UFO or I don't know what else it could be. Yeah, like
Can you cue the X-Files music right now?
yeah. or the Twilight Zone, either one.
Right. I
That
think
I love the X-Files too, though.
I think it's funny that you brought that up because I've had a lot of people, since I've been doing ITC stuff, like the ghost boxes and stuff like that. A lot of people are like, "How do you know you're talking to like a dead person? How do you know you're not like talking to like an alien?" And I'm
Yeah,
like, "Well, I don't think an alien would say I'm dead. That's I'm sorry for all the people out there that are kind of like, but you get that a lot. That's one of the warnings that I'll give to you. You
well,
will
unless they were trying to
definitely
pull,
hear things that you don't want to hear at times. You got to let them know.
you know, demons present themselves as children, right?
Sometimes, yes.
Why could an alien present himself as a dead person? Just saying, you know.
I guess it's possible, but what would be the point? They gain no knowledge.
Well, if they were trying to get close to you for whatever reason, we're going to abduct this sucker. Uh, hey, I'm a spirit. I'm talking to you. You know,
Yeah.
come out here, take my picture. Just saying, Then you go outside, it's like this beam of light comes down, and there goes Frank.
Right. You
No,
know,
you're
you know,
right,
you know
though. I
what?
mean,
Another a couple of things I like to use, the white noise generators.
yes, now I like those. And that's what we did when we did the Echo Box station that I was telling you about.
Yeah.
I had two phones there,
Right.
and I had a white noise generator on one of them, and I had Echo Box running on the other one, and I ran them together.
Right.
And that's when we were getting all the shit about the grave in the backyard, and it's a
Yeah.
pine tree out there, and all the names that we were getting. We asked how many spirits were there. They said three. We asked for names. We got three. But I was running all this together, and I think sometimes you can get an application and it may not do nothing on its own, but if you combine it with something else, the results can be phenomenal. I mean, it can just make the difference in night and day.
Right.
And I think that running that with the Echo Box made what was why we got all the stuff we was getting. Because when I took the phone with me, we went to the store. I only had the Echo Box. I didn't have the
Yep.
other.
It
And
works.
so, I mean, you can do that. You can combine like different things. Um, you can also do that with other equipment that you have. It doesn't necessarily have to be a phone app or whatever you're running, but you could do that with like a recorder and something else.
Yeah.
You can run a white noise generator and a recorder, and you can get some of the same better EVPs than you would just a recorder by itself.
Yeah. Well, certain instances I could agree with that.
Now, and we talked about this, why I love my analog recorder so much. And a lot of people don't realize that when you run an analog recorder, when you're recording with an analog recorder, the motor is running, okay, and it's producing a white noise effect in the background.
Right.
And that is why, to me, you get better EVPs than you will off of a digital because it doesn't produce anything like that. I've always had better luck with my analog than I did a digital. People will argue that fact, but I always have. I've used both and played them both back, and I would have more EVPs over here on this analog than I got on this digital.
Right.
And more lengthy EVPs I got over here on this analog than I did on this digital. And I think it's because it produces that white noise in the background.
Yeah.
So if you took a digital and you ran a white noise generator with it, then you would probably have results like you do with the analog.
Yeah, definitely. I could see that working.
So what experiments have you tried recently?
Me?
Yeah, and I know you have.
Yeah.
Don't even
Yeah,
act like
definitely.
you do it all.
Definitely.
So I figured
Uh,
you're doing something.
well, I just want to start off by saying Echovox definitely works, but in my opinion, I'm always looking to do things differently. Again, other things work in their own respects. I just wanted to put that out there first. So if anybody sees this, they're not going to get offended. I'm just simply saying that I'm a guy that's trying to be like, okay, well, there could be better. Who knows? Whatever. I'll try whatever. If it works, it works. That's where I'm at. Uh, and I've tried this thing that you could find on Google Play. It's called the GBV 3, I think it is, and it's a ghost box application. And I recorded some really weird stuff off of this ghost box, and it's legit. It's not like programmed BS. And it was I had a buddy of mine when I was my friend Nick, my ex co-host from Shiver Zone Radio. Sorry to plug that in there. Um, but but he was there and he was like, dude, do you hear that? I'm like, yeah, I hear it. I'm not sure if what I'm hearing is correct, but I'm definitely hearing it. And of course, being recorded, I picked up a lot of stuff that I didn't hear in real time. And I mean, it good experiment. Like it definitely works in my opinion. I've tried. There's a developer called Appy Droid. He's made a bunch of Ghostbox applications, and I've tried a bunch of his. There's like one or two that function on a almost like maybe it's a luck ping, like maybe got something through luck because they didn't seem to work. Uh, there's a new guy out there. I don't remember the developer. Uh, he works with a group called Ghost Inc. Van
I,
Brankel. Van Brankel. I'm sorry, that's the developer's name, Van Brankel. He has made a Ghostbox software application, whatever, that has the different Radio Shack hacks for all the people that are interested. Radio Shack hacks. You can hunt these radios down. They're decent. And it's all in like software form. The Shack Hack 12589 that they don't make anymore,
yeah.
like the really good one. He's got digital versions of these things, like the same sound banks and everything. It's pretty gangster.
I don't suppose there's any way that you could actually do a session with one of these, is it?
Right now,
Yeah, right now.
uh, right now, no, because I'm currently using the device that,
That's what I was thinking, but I
right,
was well, maybe you got another phone laying around that you have it on that you can do something with or whatever.
right. No,
That would be interesting.
I don't, unfortunately. That's the crummy part. I just started experimenting with those particular apps, so I haven't like put them on anything else. My older phone, I would say yes, but I just recently gave it to my daughter as a gift. She wanted to play games.
uh,
But in the future, if you want to set up something like that, I can definitely do like a live session right here if you would like me to. I could set that up.
yeah, that's what I was saying. It would be cool to do that, be able to do that,
Right,
and that way everybody could hear what actually goes on,
right,
during. And of course, if you're fortunate enough to get something, everybody will hear it live. So
right.
yeah, we need to do that. We need to set that up sometime here. Get a hold of me whenever you get to where you can do that, and we'll set something up and do that.
Okay. I
I
just
think that
don't know. I just don't know, like, okay, in the current setting that I'm in like this box, right? I don't know if I go to like start the application, if I will terminate
right.
uh, and that's why I'm like right now I don't want to do that.
Well,
This
you
is
would
cool.
because it would be showing the app on your screen instead of the video. So
You think so?
I think so. Yeah.
Well, let's see what happens. I'm not hanging up.
Okay, so he's going to see if he can figure this out to where he can actually do a live session for you guys. Over here, you guys ready for this? I hope it works. That would be just really cool. That's my dealer. Anyway, while he's doing this, I will show y'all another picture. This is one, and this is with our motion detection. And I'm not sure. I'm assuming this is a phone app, but well, I'm sure some kind of device is built because it has a switch on it that's been put in there. Um, there's so many different applications. Okay, he disappeared, so I guess he tried to do that and it didn't work. Hopefully he'll bounce back here in a minute. But there's so many different applications that you can get, and if it says ghost hunting on it, everybody runs out and gets it because it says ghost hunting on it.
What up?
It's the same. Well, there he is.
I'm sorry. Like I said, it didn't work the way I
That's what
imagined.
I thought. When you go to buy equipment, okay, most of the electronic equipment that you buy that says ghost hunting on it, that you're spending about 3 or 4 triple times what it's worth, you're just buying the name ghost hunting.
Yep.
Because the majority of this stuff you can go to an electronics place and get it for a quarter of that. You know, they're the same thing. EMF detectors are the same things that they use, electricians use. Okay, they just put ghost hunting on it and used it for ghost hunting applications.
Yeah.
Well, when they put that ghost hunting equipment on there, they triple the price on you, and everybody will run out and buy it because it says ghost hunting on it.
Definitely.
Now, I'm not saying that all these people are idiots. Not anyway am I saying that anybody is an idiot because they did that, but be aware that you can get a lot of the same stuff for a lot cheaper price if you go to electronics place.
Yeah.
That will do the same thing. It just doesn't say ghost hunting on it. And people have learned that everybody will run out and buy it if it says ghost hunting on it, and that's how they get by with tripling the price.
Right.
So how do you know, I can't say it enough, people. There's a lot cheaper ways of doing things.
Yeah.
Okay. The best thing I saw a video, and I talk about this a lot because it's so neat. A guy took have you ever seen those big glass jars that they used to put like pickled eggs in and stuff like that?
Yes, indeed.
Okay. He took a jar like this and took a ping pong ball and put it in the jar and put the lid on it. Now, when you think about this ping pong ball in this jar with no air getting to it.
Right.
Okay. So it's sitting still in this jar. And you place it on a solid surface where you can jump up and down on the floor and it don't bounce around, it don't move.
Right.
Put a camera on that sucker, start asking them if they can move the ping pong ball. It's light enough that it doesn't take a lot of energy for them to move it.
Right.
If that thing starts moving around in that jar, presto, you got evidence right there, buddy, because there's no wind moving that thing and nobody's walking and bouncing it around.
True.
If it starts moving, it has some help.
Definitely.
And that is one of the easiest things that somebody can do if they want to get, if they want to get something that would be, I'm going to say 99.99% undebunkable.
Right.
Because you can do everything to make sure nothing can move that thing.
Definitely.
And once you've made sure that there's no possible way to move that ball without picking up the jar and shaking it, if that thing starts moving, something's moving it.
Right.
And it's cheap. How much cheaper can you ask? Well, you get one of them jars for what? $2 or $3 maybe? A ping pong
Maybe.
ball for a couple of bucks or a pack of them?
Yeah.
How much better can you get,
Yep.
I love that thing, and I talk about it. I can't talk about it enough because it's so neat. Um, but there's lots of things you can do that you don't have to spend a fortune on it.
Right.
Frank Lee and I both have talked about the little Christmas bells.
Yeah.
You can tie a string on one of those, and if you have a claim of, a spirit coming through a room or something like that, tie that thing up in the doorway. If anything comes through there, and of course you've eliminated any other possible, you always do that. Like, make sure there's no heater vents or air conditioner vents where it can blow it, or a fan or anything like that.
Right.
If something comes through there and moves that thing, there's no other explanation.
Right.
Or you can actually, if you have claims of something being in that vicinity, you can ask them to move it. If it starts jingling or whatever, you got evidence right there. Once you've eliminated everything else. So, getting back to the applications here, what was the name of that one you was talking about?
Which one?
The one that you were going to try to do?
Oh, it's the GBV3. Sorry, the GBV3 by
Just in
I
case
don't.
anybody wants to try it out there. GBV.
Yeah, it's on Google Play. It actually works really well, from what I can tell so far.
So if anybody wants to try that out there, that's what you look for. It's on Google Play Store, I think, right?
Yeah, it's free.
Okay.
No, it's not. I'm sorry, I paid for it. Yeah, that was one of the ones I paid for. It was like $3.99 or something like that. But it was like, if it works, it works. If not, most things on Google Play have like a refund period.
Right.
So I got, so far it was good, so I kept it. You know, I
So
mean,
you
I've
guys,
tried.
if you want to try that, go look it up, give it a shot. If it has a refund period, if you don't like it, you can always cancel it or whatever and get your refund back or something. But
Right,
sounds like it might be interesting.
right.
And we're
You know
gonna
what
have
I've
to
no Go ahead.
get it set up where you can do a live thing for everybody, let them see how it works and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I was trying. Like I said, that's what I was trying to do, but I wasn't sure if it would disconnect me, and it did.
Yeah, actually, what we might do is we might do a show where we can try like several different types of software and let everybody see, you know, which one's which and what it does, and if it's believable or not or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
That would be interesting. I'd like to do that.
Right.
And I was telling everybody when you were gone there a while ago, there's so many different phone softwares that you can get that's supposed to be paranormal related and everything. And probably a good, I want to say 80% of them ain't worth your time.
Right.
But every now and then you'll run across, like, I love the little white noise generator. It's free and it does its job.
Right.
Okay. You're not expect I don't expect it to do anything but produce a white noise. So I'm not let down if I don't get an EVP from that, because it's not going to give you one.
Right.
but you use it in conjunction with a recorder,
Yeah.
like a digital, or like we did with the Echo Box.
Yeah.
And it can heighten your chances of getting a better EVP. So, I do recommend that one if anybody, like I said, it's free. You know,
Definitely.
I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but and I had it on my old phone, but I don't have it on my new one. But yeah, it's free and it works. And you can turn the volume up on your phone. You can let it play as loud as you want it to. But it does. We did have good luck with it that night, and I think I remember using that with a recorder. Actually, I think when we ran the Echo Box, I actually ran a recorder too. So we had that running. I had a recorder running. I had the white noise generator running.
You had the whole shebang going.
Yeah, because I remember playing the recorder back and listening to what we had picked up on the Echo Box from the speaker system,
Yeah.
which was pretty cool, actually. I wish I still had that. Man, the best EVPs I ever got was on my analog recorder, and I lost that tape. It went missing. But that was the one when I was provoking, and that was when I first started doing this stuff, and I didn't know any better. Um, and that was the one that had the where we had come out of the little bathroom into the hallway, and I said, "Where the hell you hiding at?" And when I played it back, it said, "Right behind you," and had that evil little laugh on the end of it. And I cannot find that tape. I've looked everywhere, but I mean, and you didn't hear it till we played it back, right? My daughter then
Right.
was sitting up in the kitchen, and I played it for them. They're like, "Oh my god, oh my god!" They're freaking out. Shit. I'm going, "Cool. What are you talking about? That was cool." I'm the only one that would think something like that was cool.
Wow.
But I was all excited. I'm like, "Man, did you hear that?"
Yeah. My first experience with any kind of uh when I like really started confronting was really, really strange. Nothing happened to me, it happened to my wife. She thought she heard my voice in the shower one day, and it wasn't me. Nobody else was there. It was a bit strange.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm gonna tell you a story, and for folks out there listening, we used to have a friend, and he stayed with us for a little while, and he was murdered up in uh, Rockford, Illinois. Um, anyway, after this happened, now my wife is a stickler for putting the toilet seat down, and which I always do. But she was in the shower one day, and she thought I had come in there to use the bathroom and raised the toilet seat up and left it up.
Right.
And it wasn't me. I wasn't in the bathroom. Now, and like I said, these things happened right after he was murdered. Um, that happened, and then one night I had went and laid down in the bed, and I was the only one in there. It was, and the room was dark.
Right.
Uh, Mindy and my daughters, and then they were all in the front room talking, watching TV and crap. The washing machine wasn't running, so it couldn't have been the spin on the washing machine, vibration, or anything like that.
True.
Something was bumping the foot of my bed.
Right.
The footboard is shaking the bed. And I
It's no
said, "I would
bueno.
bet you I'm trying to sleep and it quit."
Right.
So that, do I believe in spirits? You bet you. you
Yeah.
know, I've had too many experiences not to. But
Right.
yeah, that was one of the weird ones. And I think it was his mother that told us that after that happened, the lights were going on and off in their house.
Right.
And I said, "Well, he was just telling you guys he's okay. He's here. He's, don't worry."
Right.
Uh, But yeah, I mean, there's crazy stuff like that, man. And people wonder why, you know, when somebody says they're skeptical, I'm saying of what? Just because you haven't experienced anything doesn't mean it's not real.
True indeed. There's a lot of people out there like that though. It's just one of those things.
My baby sister cried for 2 weeks after she died, and I heard it every night. And I was 9, 10 years old. For years, I mean, I remember telling my mom, my grandmother, and all of them, I hear her cry. I hear her cry. No, you don't. You're just imagining. I said, no, I hear her cry.
Right.
And about 3 or 4 months ago, maybe, my brother had come over and we were sitting here talking, and the subject came up. We were talking about paranormal stuff, which he's not into it like I am. But he brought that up out of the blue. He said, when Judy died, he said, I heard her cry every night. And I'm like, damn, there's my validation.
Yeah.
Somebody besides me heard that.
Yeah.
You know, I said, now, I wish my grandmother could be around now so he could tell them that he heard it too.
Right.
Because I didn't say that about it. He just brought it up out of the blue. I had never mentioned it to him. So I said, yeah, there's my validation.
Yeah, you're not crazy.
I'm not.
You weren't hearing voices in your head.
No.
Somebody else heard them too.
Well, me and my other brother saw the neighbor's mother walk by us on the sidewalk after she passed away. Broad daylight. Now we're coming home after playing all day, right? It's in the evening, but it's still daylight. We're walking up the sidewalk, and here she comes, walking right past us. Turn into the yard, look around, nobody's there.
Wow. That's
And
trippy.
yeah, of course, we beat tracks for the door and lock the door and then go back outside the rest of the day.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I
Yep.
told my grandmother and them about that. Now you imagine that. You didn't see that. No, you didn't see that. Well, after that, I quit seeing stuff. I didn't see anything anymore. Uh, but I never forgot what I saw.
Right.
And I'll swear it on my deathbed. We walked right by that woman just as plain. It looked just as real as you do.
I can believe that.
Look back around and nobody's there, and she couldn't have gone anywhere that quick.
Right.
She just wasn't there. And she was wearing the same dress that she wore the last time I seen her alive. It was a sundress, had the little red dots on it or yellow dots or something on it.
Right.
White dress with red or yellow dots. I can't remember, but it was polka dotted. She was wearing that same dress.
Wow.
And I'm like, it's going through my mind, did I really see what I saw?
Right.
I remember that dress. She wore that dress, before she passed. And I'm like, you can tell me all day long I didn't see that, but I know what I saw.
Right. Exactly.
And of course I shut up about it because, I was a kid and it was in my imagination and they didn't want to hear it.
Right.
But all through life, I remembered that. And more experiences that happened later on just helped build that foundation, One of the weirdest ones was at a friend's trailer one time. We lived in a trailer park and we were over there playing cards, and my daughter went to the restroom and she was talking about the shower. They had the glass shower doors, and
Right.
the shower doors were shaking. And there's a train track that runs behind the trailer park, but there wasn't no train.
Right.
It was a nice, calm night with no wind. So I'm thinking, well, she just imagined that shit, right? Well, later on, when I went to go to the bathroom, I thought for the hell of it, I looked over at them and I said, okay, show me. And they started shaking. And homie went down the hall with Winky hanging because I didn't take time to zip. You know what I'm saying? I was getting the hell out of that room quick.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
And I tell everybody, yeah, you almost zipped Winky up in the zipper trying to get out. Going down the hall, getting away from there. But it did.
Yeah.
read it. I said, show me. And them suckers started just, as
Uh,
hard as they could. And I'm like, holy shit. I went in there. I said, okay, I'm sorry. I said, you made that up. I'm sorry. You didn't imagine that. And of course, my daughter's like, I told you. I told you. But now, if I could go back and relive that, I'd be in there with my video camera, right? Show me. When I started, I'd have it all on film, right?
Yeah.
Now, that was before I got into all this stuff, right? So, I wasn't thinking about that. I was thinking about, what the hell? But yeah, that was crazy. Okay, somebody's Skyping me. Oh, okay. I got to flip over here for a minute, so carry on there. We've got some questions over here I need to look at.
Okay.
Okay, we got one from, I believe this is Tom, yeah. Would an FM radio not on a station produce white noise? Actually, yeah, you can make one, or one will produce a white noise. It's more like a static, but it is sort of like a white noise.
Yeah, it's a radio frequency.
Yeah, like in between the frequencies where you got that,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know.
That is just white noise. It's the betweens.
You could probably use that with a recorder, might get an effect too. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, you could
I'm
definitely.
not sure if Roger's watching chat, but it seems like it would. Are there any investigators in the chat room who can answer? I don't know. uh, who's crazy? I'm not crazy. I won't.
Am I crazy?
I won't. I won't hide the fact that I'm a little on the insane side.
Yeah, right. You got to be a little out there to survive the world.
Okay. Are you awake?
Yeah.
I can't sleep on the floor. Well, I have a hard time sleeping on the floor myself. That's why I don't do it. But uh, yeah, I do believe that you're right there, Tom, about the FM radio. If you get it in between frequencies where it's got the static background, it would probably work in the same way. Data must have looked that up on Google Play. She's saying $3.99.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Yep. That's about right. It works too. I'm telling you, if you're skeptical, just give it a couple of minutes, just like any other ghost box, spirit box, anything. Sometimes it takes the software, the hardware, whatever. Sometimes it takes a little bit for the spirits in that area or
Oh,
whatever to build up a kind of a rapport with the device or the software or whatever it is so they can get used to how to manipulate it.
yeah. CJ was wanting to know what frequencies does it use?
What? The GBV2
Yeah.
or 3? I'm sorry. I'm not 100% sure about that. What I do know is that it is a chaotic mix of, it's not even full phonetic speech pattern. It's just like chopped letters or something. I'm not 100%, but it works really well. It's got like the way it sounds when you run it, it sounds like the low end of a PSP 7, but when you actually get a response, it's actually valid and you really understand what they're saying. It's kind of eerie. It's hard to explain. I mean, I wish I could show you, like I wanted to,
And we
but it's
will
some,
we'll set that up.
yeah, I will definitely set that up. But, if people are wondering, you could definitely try that out. Echovox is good. The only complaint I've ever gotten about Echovox is the echo itself,
Right.
because there's that pitch that if you don't tweak the mic gain right, you end up with that frequency pitch that squeals and it
Yeah,
sounds really annoying. Uh, but there's a couple of them. There's even free ones that to some extent work. You know what I'm saying? For me, this is all about research and ITC. So, well, yes, I love EchoVox. Everybody knows that I'm on Team Spirit Box, blah, blah, blah. That's
I
why I
got a
said
couple
in
more
the
questions.
beginning, I hope nobody gets mad, me talking about this, because honestly, other things do work. It's just different things work to their own extents. We'll
I
say
got
that.
some questions for you here. Oh, Data says that's really cool, and CJ wants to know, can that be tracked on an oscillator?
What?
That program you're talking about?
Possibly.
Hey, you up? Try.
Possibly. Hey, I open my trials with actually working with the software first, and then I start picking it apart to tell people what I really think of it. But I haven't gotten that far yet, honestly. Good question, though.
Okay, I'm trying to go back up here and see if I missed something, and I'm sure I did. Hey, Janice. Okay. I thought I saw something here.
Do 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 do.
I see people are doing battle.
What?
People are doing battle.
Really?
Uh, yeah, not fighting battle with software stuff. Okay, I thought I saw a question and it slipped by me here. Okay,
Are you guys getting this? Type faster. Type faster. If you're on a phone, thumb that ish.
yeah. Well, I can't. I must have missed it. I don't know where it went to. But
I'm
wait a
breaking the fourth wall.
minute. Okay, maybe I just thought I saw something. I don't
See?
know.
See what all this stuff does to you?
Dina said, "Thank you, Frank, for explaining that."
No problem.
Uh, all of you lovely people in the chat room, y'all are awesome. Ask all the questions you want. Just if I don't pop over to notice it, Skype me and let me know, and I'll go over and try to answer them for you, or we will. Um, this one that I showed this picture of a while ago. Let me see if this is it or not.
Oh, that? Yeah, you showed me that.
What the heck that is?
I'm
It's
not sure.
not a phone because it's got the switch they put in the side of it.
It looks like it says Paratrap, and it says with IR motion detection. So I would
Yeah,
imagine that in some way it would measure an EMF and then turn that light in the center on.
possibly. I mean, I have no clue what it is. I just saw that and I thought it looked interesting.
Right,
Uh, and I have some more pictures that I didn't load up here to show, but and one of them actually was, I think, the white noise generator that I talked about.
right,
And it basically all it shows on your screen when you run this thing is you'll have like a green screen, like a IR looking screen,
right.
and it'll just be like the do you remember when you used to watch TV and it was back before you had cable and all this, and you're using your antenna, and your station may go out and all you got's all the little white dots moving
Yeah,
around.
the white noise. Yeah,
Okay,
the white
that's
snowy stuff.
exactly the same thing. If you had an old TV
Right,
and you turn that thing on and you have a set of rabbit ears or whatever you got, and you turn them to where you don't quite bring a station in, you're in between the frequencies, and you'll have that fuzzy little dots all in your picture, and you'll have the staticky background. That would do the same thing
yeah.
as noise generator. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, it's interesting to know that since we're talking about like apps and all kinds of other stuff, older TVs are good for that,
Yeah,
but
the
they're believe it
stuff.
or not,
Yeah.
believe it or not, there are video ITC apps out now.
Huh.
Yeah, it just kind of creates the same kind of feel just in digital.
That's cool.
Yeah,
But the old tube type televisions were really good for that. And like I said, you could tune it in between the stations, and you would have that all that little fuzzy jumping around
yep,
the little white dots, and you have the same white noise effect. And the thing that's really cool about that way of doing things is if you remember watching the movie White Noise when the guy
yeah,
was with it, possibly if you put a camera on that and you recorded it constantly and you weren't in the room, you might actually see something come through that screen, that picture.
right,
And it might be in the background of it, but like a shadow. You know what I'm saying?
right,
And that would be really cool to catch. And I've never thought of that. I had one of those TVs, and my sister got rid of it. I felt like kicking her butt.
right,
I got this. I cleaned out an attic for a lady one time, and she had this. And it was made in the '50s.
right.
Old tube type. It was probably that thing weighed a ton, but it wasn't very big. It was maybe 2 foot wide by I don't know, a little over 2 foot high, and
Right.
it kind of reminded you a little bit of the old radios that they used to have back in the old days that you had to like hook up your car battery to them.
Yeah.
Well, this, and of course, this was from back in the day. Like I said, the cabinet itself was heavy duty. It wasn't none of this real thin plastic veneer stuff,
Right.
And then of course your picture tube and all that in there was heavy, and then you had your tubes and all the stuff in it. This thing weighed a ton.
Yep.
And I brought that thing down from her attic, and I brought it at the time I was staying in Greenfield, and she lived there. And I said, well, can you keep, because I didn't have nowhere to keep it. I said, can you keep this, for me until I get a place to put it? Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then she turned around and got rid of it. I was like, oh, because that thing was so cool and it worked.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, I mean, you could actually hook rabbit ears up to it. Like I said, you could pick up like channel 7 or something around here, I think, at the time.
Yeah.
But it actually worked, and you could use that and do that. And if I
Right.
had it now, I would experiment. I'd be like Frank the Second. I'd be experimenting with this thing, trying to catch something with my camera that come up on the screen. Oh yeah,
I'm o-
I
yeah, I'm
would.
a- I'm actually working on a new experiment. People might think this one's interesting. You ready
Okay.
for this? I'm sure people have heard of the phenomenon called phone calls from the dead.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay. What I'm trying to do is see if there can be a way developed to get that to happen. You know,
Oh, we
it,
talked about that a while ago.
yes, yes. And I've been working on it. Uh, People are like, oh, I don't know, but you also have to look at it in terms of at some point, nobody even knew what a ghost box was. So it might be possible. Uh, I'm gonna do something that's, associates the Gansfield experiment because it's said that while your senses are taken, blindfolded, not being able to hear anything in one confined space, that you might be able to communicate with spirits. That's what the Gansfield experiment was.
Right.
Uh, I want to do the Gansfield experiment, but introduce ghost boxes, as an added form of communication. So it could be vocal. There could be people outside of a room where I'm going to be at because I want to be in the room doing the experiment, obviously, and a box inside with me. Obviously, I won't be able to hear it, but the idea would be if I could really make contact and be like, look, can you call this phone?
Right.
I'll add a cell phone and that's what I want to do. It's going to be a little crazy though. People are like,
So what if you and I never thought about trying that. If you were in a place that has a high claim of activity
uh,
and you lay a phone down and you lay a recorder down next to it and you give them the phone number and
well, see
they
that
would ring this
I
phone,
got you. Yeah.
and if it actually rings and you answer it and there's nobody there, your recorder picked up that phone ringing.
Mm-hmm.
So you would have your verification that it actually rung the phone.
Right.
That would be really interesting.
Yeah. Well, I've actually, as crazy as it sounds, I've been doing that a lot because I haven't like got to the point where I'm going to do the full experiment, but I'm trying little things, like when I'm running a ghost box, I'll get to the point where it seems like I'm having a uh, valid, vivid conversation with a spirit. And then I'll ask, I have this device. It's a phone. Can you call it? If you can call it, please try it. And I've had responses that say that they couldn't do it, stuff like that. It hasn't happened yet, but that doesn't mean I'm going to give up on it.
Well, there's a Twilight Zone episode, and you probably remember where the kid's grandmother was calling him on his toy phone after
Yeah.
he passed.
Yeah.
You gotta think, if spirits can do, okay, let's just say if a spirit has the energy to shove somebody
Right.
or throw something across the room, especially like we were talking the other night on the free for all show on CJ's network. We were talking about, Frank was talking about, he was doing an EVP station in a room, and a spirit actually picked up a little table and threw it over the top of a bed and landed at his feet. They have the energy to do this. Would they not have the energy to ring that phone?
Right. Well, yeah, true.
You
I,
know,
I, I see. I don't know though. See, like I said, I've tried it in a number of different occasions, different ways, fashions. Nothing's worked so far, but not to say that eventually it won't pay off. I mean, yeah, I definitely agree with you. Having the energy to pick a heavy object up or shove a
yeah.
person, definitely. But for some reason, it just hasn't happened. You
Okay,
know?
now maybe, and I'm just saying, throwing a maybe out here. Uh, the spirits that you were dealing with didn't have that energy. But there's places that is active enough that the spirits have a lot of energy and they throw things around and they do all this stuff and shove people and all this kind. If you were there, you might actually get that to work.
Yeah,
If they got
it's
that
not
kind of energy, they could, and say, "Look, call me up and tell me to get out, and I'll leave." you
right.
know, just ring my phone, and when I answer, say, "Get out," and I'll go.
Yeah,
And I guarantee
yeah.
you, if they rung that phone and told me to get out, I'd pack my shit and leave.
Right. Peace.
Yeah,
Deuces.
like
Out.
yeah, hey, no harm, no foul.
Yeah. No.
I'm not
Yeah.
saying I would never go back, but
That
if
would
I,
probably be my first reaction. Shit a brick, and then pack up my stuff and go.
yeah, not necessarily in that order either.
No, not definitely not. Well, because what I'm trying to do, it'd be like it's not working, it's not working. All of a sudden, it's like, hello, get out. Oh, like I wouldn't know how to
I
process
hear
that if it
it
actually happened.
all.
Please don't hurt me. Oh God, you know.
That would be crazy, though. I mean, could you imagine? You're in a haunted location and you're doing EVP and you're doing all this stuff. And you lay a phone down there and say, "Yeah, nothing's happening, right?" And you're getting bored and everything. If you just ring that phone and tell me to get out of here, I'll go. And then the phone rings and you pick it up. get out.
Yeah, like yeah,
That
yeah,
would freak
definitely.
me out. I'd be like, okay, I'm packing my stuff right now. I'll be back
Yep.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
But I did say I'd get out for now.
Yep.
But that would be wild. I'd love that. I'd
Yeah.
love to do that. You know, and you got your recorder running right there, so you got it on a recorder.
Right.
You
Yep.
know, when the phone rings, you just reach down and touch the answer button. You don't pick it up, so it's laying right there.
Yep.
And you get out, and your recorder's got it, and you're like, okay, I got the ring, and then get out.
Yep. Yep.
That would be awesome. Okay. That'd be another one of them where I'd be jumping up and down going, did you hear that? Yeah. Like I was a blooming idiot. But I'd be like, yeah. It rang the phone, told me to get out.
Next on Ghost Hunters. Like,
Yeah. But oh wow, that would be, I mean, I can get worked up just thinking about that.
yeah.
Because that would be one of the most coolest bits of evidence you would ever capture.
Well, I want to say this, and this is the reason why I'm doing it. I like ghost boxes, but what if you could make communication with spirits just like on a cell phone? That's why I'm like trying to experiment with this because if they could finagle using electromagnetic fields, now
Right.
let your brain soak that in a little bit, then they should be able to finagle talking through a phone. So that's where I'm at, like
Okay.
I don't know.
If you wanted to do a real time EVP experiment,
Right.
okay, and you could, how would I say this? Okay, if you were running, say, a white noise generator on your phone and it's laying right here and you got a recorder next to it and you're asking questions and everything, where normally you may not hear that voice out loud, like, a disembodied voice, but you pick it up on your recorder. With that running, you might possibly be able to get that disembodied voice.
Yeah.
And if you get that and you also got it on your recorder, that's twice the happiness. You know what I'm saying? When,
Yeah.
when that voice spoke out loud in that front yard that night, I had my recorder running and it caught it. And that was so cool.
Yeah.
It was the first disembodied voice I ever heard. I caught it on my recorder and I'm like, this is just so cool. I get too excited about stuff, but I mean, I love paranormal. This is my thing. So when I
Right.
get something like that, I'm like, yeah, uh, oh yeah. When I was at Waverly Hills and I was in the little freezer thing in the morgue,
Yeah.
and I had the digital recorder running, I asked if there was anybody with me, and I played it back, and it goes, "I'm with you." I'm like, somebody was with me, you know. But that's the way I am. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, that was so cool, man. And that one, if I could find that tape, oh God, I'd love to be able to post that up for everybody to hear it. That was so crazy. When
Right.
when, when it said right behind you, and it went, that was major cool. And then I got another EVP in the same apartment in the front room by the fireplace. And I was standing there and I knocked on the fireplace like that. And I said, if you're in here, can you knock on this? Can you make this sound? I went like that. And what I actually heard when I played it back was two voices. One was female, one was male. And the female said, let's get him. And the male said, we've got him between us.
The
And it
hell?
was plain. It was plain. It's on that damn tape if I can ever find it. It was plain. And I'm like, I played that for
Screw
my
that.
daughter, freaking out, right? She's going, oh my God, oh my God. I said, man, that was so cool. That was awesome. My mentality. If
Yeah.
it's gonna get me because it's got me between them, get me already because If not, I'm going to be, oh, I love it. You know,
Yeah.
this is cool. And you know, I walked away and they didn't get me. And I played it
Right.
for her, freaking out and everything. And I'm like, yeah, I love this, you know.
Yeah.
She was the one that asked me to come investigate because they claimed they saw a shadow.
Right.
And after 2 investigations, I'm like, well, should we go back for a third? No, no, don't come back. You go
Oh, why
start
not?
worse than they are. You know, and I'm like, well, you wanted me to do this. You know, you wanted me to
Yeah.
prove that you saw something, so I proved it. You know, the Class A that we got was the recorder in my analog recorder in the bedroom, and we left it in there and shut the door. And we were sitting around smoking and drinking coffee and carrying on. And my son-in-law went in there to get the recorder, and you hear the door open because this is an old building, right? It's got the old metal door handle. You remember the type? They real
Yeah.
noisy. You hear him open the door. You hear the door kind of creak open. He goes in there, and you hear him say, "I'm back. Where's the recorder at?" And you hear a voice as plain as day, "Away."
That's funny.
That was cool. But yeah, I mean, I love it, you know. And any way that you can produce better quality, and
Yeah.
that's what everybody's out for. So if you can come up with a way, that's why I was thinking if you had a white noise generator running and it was loud enough to where they might speak through it, you know, you might actually capture that voice out loud and also on your recorder. Um, I remember seeing a thing here a while back, and I thought, now this is really cool. Somebody invented it's like this thing that you can put on a wall. And if anything touches it, it will leave like the prints on it, like
Yeah.
prints and all this stuff. Um, or, you know, if they're uh, against that wall, whatever, it will show an outline of a figure.
Yeah. Nice.
And I forget now. It was in the creation stages, and they had like a sample that you could get for like I think it was around $100, but they wanted a lot more for the full deal. You could get like the
Yeah.
big, you know, it's like 25 foot long by 10 foot tall, I think, and you could do like a whole wall. So if you had a room that was supposed to be claimed to be highly active and everything, you could put this on a wall where the activity is supposed to be happening in an area, and
Yeah.
you might actually be able to see live. You know, even if you didn't see the figure itself, you might see the outline of it or the handprints of it or whatever touched that.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, that's really neat, you know. And like I said, I remember seeing a video of it that showed how it actually worked. And they only had like this little one, you know, that they were demonstrating with. But if you put your hand on it, it's just like a thermal camera would see, you know, the red outline of the heat or whatever
Yeah.
show up on this. So it's like a whole wall of thermal camera. And anything that touched that would show the outline with the heat signature.
Nice.
Or if it was cold, it would be like a dark blue, you know, signature.
That'd be
So it's
cool.
kind of like having a big full length wall thermal camera, you know. I said, man, that's really cool. And that's what I'm talking about. What we were talking about, thinking outside the box. You know, anything that you can think of in your head that knowing what you know about other stuff that you use,
Right.
um, you know, you can come up with something extraordinary, really, you know, and a lot of it is common sense thinking. You know, when I think of out of the box, I'm thinking of, you know, well, if I look at this situation logically, what would I come up with? Um, like I was talking about putting your white noise generator, you know, with your recorder or what have you, or with Echo Box or with a PSB7 even, or
Right.
anything. You're boosting that opportunity,
Yep.
you know, and people will spend all kinds of money to create the white noise generators, and it may be a big contraption that they've done and everything, and it's not really doing any more than the little phone app does.
Right.
So you're spending a ton of money on this. Download the free phone app, and you're not buying something that claims it's going to pick up a spirit, because it don't make any kind of claims like that. So you know what you're getting when you get it. You're getting a white noise generator. It's what you wanted. I think it was like that one was free. I think you could get some that were supposed to be a little more sophisticated. They were like $1.99 or something. But the free one works good. I tried it. It worked really good. And you can set it to where it's looped to where it just continuously runs.
All right.
And or you can set it to run for such a certain length of time. If you wanted to do like a 10-minute session, you could set this thing to run for 10 minutes,
Right.
And you do your session and it shuts off. And then you have to reset it if you go to another area and you're doing it again. You program it for whatever you want, but I always put it on that loop and I let it run, because when you're running like Echo Vox or anything like that, you're not really determining a set amount of time that you're going to spend. You're just going to let it run and see what you get.
Right.
So you're letting this run with it the whole time. And there was something else that I tried one time. Oh, the one that really I think is a joke is the one that claims to show where spirits are in a room.
Oh yeah.
You ever seen that one?
Yeah. Ghost radar.
The thing that's funny about that, and it's funny because you're supposed to turn it on and you give it so much time to I guess cycle through, and it's supposed to find where your spirits are and all this stuff, and it may show there's something here and it's moving this way, whatever. But 99% of the times what you're going to find with that is that there was some kind of field in that area that activated it, and it wasn't a spirit.
Right.
If you have a lot of EMF in a room in different areas, like you may have a TV over here that's putting off high EMF, or you may have a radio over there or a lamp or whatever it is that's putting it off. That's where your spirits show up at.
Right.
On the on the app itself. Well, yeah, there's one over here.
What's interesting about that app is that in certain situations, there's like a speech synthesis thing. It could play words, and
oh yeah.
That's been used, and that can actually work. It's just the whole radar system by itself is flawed.
It produces the random words.
Yes.
Yeah. You can kind of make fun of that too if you really want to, because you could say, is there a spirit here? That might say boat. Spirit here, it's in a boat. Or it might say tree or anything,
Right.
because it's spitting out random words. Okay.
Right.
How many spirits are in here? Box. So yeah, I don't put a lot of faith in that one. There was one, dang, I can't remember the name of that thing now. And it was kind of like an EVP deal. But the thing about it is I don't care how many times you used it, you got an EVP every time.
Right.
And it may not have anything to do with what you were talking about. but you got an EVP.
Huh.
You know, um, it's kind of like, you know, how many ghosts are here? Box.
Yeah.
No, well, you might. How long have you been here? Hey, you might get an EVP that says toys or something like that. You know, and
Yeah.
who knows, maybe they were playing with some toys. I don't know, but
Yeah.
the point was, is no matter where you were, if you used that, you got some kind of EVP every time. Now, I don't get that with a recorder every time.
Right.
You know, now you can 90% of the time. Just about there can be a spirit anywhere you are. I mean, I really do believe that because there's enough, you know, out there. There could be one wherever you are. You wouldn't know it. But are they going to talk to you every time? No, they're not. I've done AVP sessions in a place and didn't get a thing all night long. Go back 2 nights later and get 2 or 3. It all depends on what they want to do.
Definitely.
So, you know, I don't, I can't remember. I wish I could remember the name of that now. Something about EVP. Oh, crap. And basically, the claims was that it was guaranteed to work. Well, yeah, it was guaranteed to work. You got an EVP, but it didn't have nothing to do with what you were talking about.
Right.
So it's kind of like the random word generator thing, you know.
Right.
Only thing is, you might get 2 or 3 words, but it has nothing to do with what you're talking about.
Right.
Anyway, I'm gonna let me jump over here real quick into my, and I'll pull up another picture for us here because I've got, like I said, I had. Okay, here's one that reminds me of what we were talking about earlier about the TV. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull this up right here. Yes, right here. Okay. This is kind of what I was talking about with the old TV. I hope everybody can see this. Are you not hearing me?
Oh, I can hear you.
Okay.
I just don't see anything.
You don't see the picture?
No.
You can't see that.
Oh, now I see it.
Okay. That's what I was talking about with the old TVs and the fuzzy
Yeah.
staticky. Okay, if somebody obviously has did something with this, it says voice mode, pulse mode, whatever.
Yeah.
Uh, that's what I was talking about. That's what your screen looks like on your TV. Only it's actually moving around, and you see all the little things, you know, crisscrossing and what have you. And you'll have the static background that would allow for. And I believe if a person did it enough and used it enough and you filmed it, you might actually be able to bring like a shadow of a figure or something into that screen because that gives them something to produce with. If
Right.
nothing else, you're surely bound to get some EVP from it if there's anything in the area. So
Yeah.
that's an interesting idea. If anybody's got an old TV, you want to try that, be sure and let me know how that works for you.
There's been anything new in the chat room?
Let's jump over here to Chats R Us. Hold on.
Chats are us.
Chats R Us. Uh, I see TV state. That's what I was talking about. Yes. Why do you need white noise?
Well, it
See,
doesn't.
seems you would want absolute quiet. No.
It doesn't necessarily need to be white noise. It's just a static of sorts. a pinging of different frequencies normally not heard by the human ear.
The thought is that the white noise, and it does work because that's what I was talking about with the analog recorder.
Yeah.
Uh, it gives them something to use to communicate through. Whereas when you have just the plain quiet, yeah, you can get EVPs like that. But if you give them something more to use, okay, the white noise, I get somehow or another, it's believed that they use that white noise to help communicate.
Right.
So in other words, what you would get with the dead quiet and what you would get with the white noise may be your white noise effect is going to give you a better chance of getting a better EVP is what basically what everybody thinks. So
Definitely.
and it does work. So sound from the ghost realm would ride on it. Yeah, basically. Yeah. What it is actually like it's a type of energy that they can use to help produce vocals. Like a carrier signal, yes, exactly. Not quite like Skip on a CB radio, no. Um, not quite like that, no. Your white noise, when you're running Skip on CB radio, yeah, it's a lot of static and malarkey and all this stuff, and you pick up bits and pieces here and there. I ran Skip once, once, mind you, but it's a um, constant energy source on the same frequency. It doesn't go up and down.
Right.
So it's a steady flow of energy that they can use, or sound that they can use to help produce vocal, to communicate with us. So
I have an interesting I have an interesting idea real quick. You ready for this?
yeah,
To all the people that are watching this and that can hear me, here's a little experiment that you could perform on your own. If you have at home an AM FM radio that has a like a dial tuner, you can use that as a spirit box slash ghost box as well. All you would have to do is constantly, slowly tune the radio from, the smallest band to the highest and back, and come back and tell us if it worked.
that would be dual heterodyne. What? Okay, y'all gonna have to quit using these big technical words here. You remember, you're dealing with a hillbilly. uh, if you want to explain to me what a heterodyne is, then I might agree with you.
I'm at a loss. I don't believe I've ever heard that term before.
It's the noise that 27.95.
Okay, yeah, he's talking about raw frequency.
Oh, okay. Basically, yeah, I think so. White noise is kind of like a raw frequency, but it doesn't fluctuate. It stays at the same um, frequency the whole time.
Right.
So it doesn't go down where you'll lose them, or go up high and you may get,
Mm.
no, it stays at the same frequency, but it helps give them something to use. Noise from CB frequency, and it's a she.
It's possible. It's possible. I'm not going to say it's not possible. It's possible. It's possible to get EVP through walkie-talkies.
Oh, Bo is here. Hey, Bo, what's happening? You're eminent.
Hi.
We all bow humbly.
Who's Bo?
Bo Jerkart. He's the grand poobah of the paranormal. he is the uh, upper of the paranormal investigators. He knows everything about paranormal.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. Ask him; he'll tell you. He's amazing. You don't believe me? I'm not lying. Am I lying, y'all? am I lying, Bo? You'll tell him, won't you? Uh, Bo is a really cool dude. Um, in fact, he called in when we were on the show the other night, and he always amazes me with his superior knowledge of the paranormal. You know, uh, and go on the Bo Jerkhart page on Facebook and look at some of his evidence.
All
And
right.
you know what I'm talking about. He is the greatest. Okay. Uh, but anyway, yeah, and wrong picture. He said, "You speak the truth." But yeah, Bo's really cool. Um, when you and we were talking about earlier, you brought up about how people trying to aliens trying to communicate as the dead.
Yeah.
Uh, Bo has the most magnificent backyard you've ever seen in your life.
Okay.
Everything is in his backyard. He has dinosaurs, aliens, little people, one-legged Sasquatches.
Nice.
Everything is in Bo's backyard. Okay.
So it's like Disneyland for a paranormal investigator.
Yeah, and say he never has to leave his yard. If he wants to get some terrific evidence, all he's got to do is go in his backyard. And he
That'd
has
be wild.
rivers, lakes, and mountains in his backyard.
What?
So everything can be. He might have even caught a picture of a platosaur. So,
Huh.
uh, and some of the UFO pictures that he has is magnificent. You just wouldn't believe.
Where's this guy live?
Where does he live? Up there.
Up there?
Yeah, but anyway, the little people are burrowing under his house so they can keep an eye on him and monitoring him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
Ah.
yeah, they're always being
Okay.
little. They're being little crap heads, and they're always trying to spy on him and stuff. And I asked him because he has such a great repertoire with the one-legged Sasquatch. I asked him how come you could Sasquatch to monitor them while they're monitoring you. It's because the Sasquatch is so tall and they're so tiny, he can't see them. He's big, right? I mean, you know how Sasquatches are.
Yes.
Especially the one-legged ones. I think they get taller than the other ones.
Oh
But
man.
now, once upon a time, one of those Sasquatches left the scene. He came all the way down here and he went to Mexico. Now, there was a reason for this, okay? He went to Mexico because he knew that if he crossed the border from Mexico, he could come over here and they'd make him a free prosthetic leg. Because he was an immigrant. Because he came over from border. Don't be laughing. I'm serious now.
Okay. Continue your story.
And on his way back up, he came through my backyard. And I saw him. And you know how those prosthetic legs are, right? They're kind of springy.
Yeah.
And he was running across the lot back here in my backyard, you know, and it was like, like, you know what? And he was on his way back to Bo's backyard. So he just came down here to cross the border to get that free prosthetic leg.
Right.
Of course, it didn't work out. The dinosaur ate him, but no, you know what I'm saying. But,
Yeah.
but yeah, a lot of interesting stuff goes on in Bo's backyard, man. If you ever get a chance to go up into New York way, check it out.
All right.
Dinosaurs, pliosaurs, aliens, little people, one-legged Sasquatches, and I'm sure there's more that I'm just not. Oh yeah, he did actually capture a picture of a mud demon.
Huh.
Got a picture of it. They're very rare. Now, he was hearing a voice, but he couldn't understand what it was saying. So he's experimenting with that. He's gonna lower a recorder down with with the earphone cable and everything, and he's gonna try to be able to hear what they're saying. But he got a picture of it. It was really neat. Like I said, go check out his page, man. There's some awesome stuff on there.
All right. Definitely.
Okay, let's see if but the one-legged Sasquatch doesn't go shopping because he doesn't like hopping, so usually he just stays put. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll go with that. Question: can a sleep machine be used as a white noise generator? You talking about like a CPAP machine or something? I use a CPAP machine.
It's like a breathing treatment machine, right?
Huh?
They're talking like a breathing treatment machine.
No. A sleep machine. Like the CPAP machine, like I have, that you
Yeah,
wear the
but it's
up when you sleep.
yeah, it's like a little mask that goes over your face that's connected to a hose and it's connected to an engine.
Yeah.
So,
And
in
of
my
course,
opinion, it could be used.
yeah. Uh, I never thought about that because I know you can't hear that, but it's like a steady. It's a steady sound. It'd be like a steady frequency. And I've never thought about that, but actually, I may try that sometime since you brought it up. I may put a recorder over there by that thing and just throw out some questions and see what happens. Sound of the ocean. Bose acoustic wave machine. hey, that's interesting stuff. Think about that. The sound of the ocean. Rain.
It's
Yeah.
it's possible.
Bose makes good stuff.
Like
I
like
thought he was going to say Bo makes good stuff.
I would even venture to say that those things that you could buy from like Walmart that have like a different nature sounds, you could
Yeah.
probably use that. I mean, why not? It's a noise in the background. It's possible.
I never thought about that really, but uh, as well as I know that there's different things that help boost paranormal activity, such
Yeah.
as crystal, certain types of rock,
Yeah.
uh, and running water.
Yeah.
So, and I've heard that when it's raining, paranormal activity picks up.
Yeah.
So if you had, and they brought this up, and I'm just saying, if you had a recording of a steady rainfall,
Would it work in the same respect?
yes, would that work in the same respect as a white noise generator.
Maybe.
There's some more experiments you got to try. And I may have to try. Well, somebody's awake back there behind me now.
Yeah, I see that.
But yeah, interesting thought because anything I would think that produces a steady frequency, like if you had a steady rainfall and you had it recorded and looped where it was just like raining and raining and raining, but it's the same frequency, it's steady.
Right.
Like my CPAP machine over there. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just blowing air, but it's a steady sound.
Yeah.
You know, anything like that could possibly work.
Yeah.
And that's some things that we're going to have to experiment with just to see if you can actually get something from that.
Yeah.
Or all of the cars that go down my street with loud mufflers. Okay. Well, those are only the ones that go down the street with loud mufflers and knock over your mailbox and throw stuff in your drag your garbage can out to the road. Those counts, yeah. Okay. Not necessarily a recording. Well, if you didn't record it, rainfall, the ideal during a rainstorm, yes, but the thing about it is during a thunderstorm, you may have heavy rain and then it's going to lighten up and it's going to get heavy again. It's going to lighten up. You need a constant frequency. You don't want it going up and down and up and down and up and down. So if you recorded it when it's like at a steady pace, I don't care if it's a torrential downpour. If you record a section of that where there's no change in it and you loop it and let it play constantly, that would be where I would think the possibilities would lie. So, you know, then again, I love Bo's ideas, right? Loud mufflers driving by. But now he's the grand poobah. He knows what he's talking about. So if he says loud mufflers is a good thing, then yeah, I would have to say yeah, it's a good thing.
Right.
Because Bo knows. So you know there's all these possibilities that are coming up. You know, different things that we need to try out and just see what happens.
Yeah.
We'll do it with the range segment. We'll do it with the what was the other one we were talking about? Oh, the CPAP machine.
Yeah.
I have to try that. I wonder about a fan. I was just thinking about it. I've got my fan over there running on low right now. It's a constant sound.
Possibility.
Could you do that with any kind of sound as long as it was steady and frequent? The frequency was the same.
Maybe.
Interesting thought. Never thought about it like that. So we've got all kind of new things here to try out. Now,
Simple stuff.
your next step is going to be you're going to have to develop a program that you can download to your phone if somebody hasn't already done this. And I'm sure they probably haven't done it with a CPAP machine, but they may have done it with rain. I haven't seen one.
Yeah, sound effects.
Okay, well, so much for that idea. But I
Oh,
could
sorry.
make a recording of my CPAP machine and send it to you, and you could
Yeah.
experiment with it, and then and develop it into a program. You know, If
Yeah.
if it actually worked, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know, and it would be horror dudes. What was it called? Horror dudes CPAP sound.
Yeah. I don't know.
uh, see, there's possibilities out there. Okay.
Yep.
Um, or we could give it to Bo. I'm sure he could come up with something. Bo knows. Okay. If you give it to Bo, he would come up with something. Just like, Bo, if we give you some sounds, will you create some software for us with your magnificence there? Let me see what he's saying. If you are trying to capture an EVP, do you want to have a sound from a generator that is close to 20 hertz? Yes, which is the low end. Right, exactly.
Yes. Sounds about right.
So, um, could you take the rain clip or the CPAP sound clip and turn it down, way down to where it was below 20 hertz?
If you had the right kind of software to manipulate something like that, yeah.
You could run that and see if anything produced from that. It's pretty interesting when you think about what all you could actually try. And that's what the majority of, that's how a lot of your paranormal stuff is created. People just trying different things.
Yeah.
And if you think about what kind of things is said to create an increase in activity, like rain and running water and all that kind of stuff. So if you could take an actual rain clip and get it to around 19 to 20 hertz, you would not probably hear it. But now would the spirits hear it and be able to use it?
I don't know.
Um, Frank Lee was talking about this. I asked him if there was a way, because he said that a lot of your EVPs will come in that low frequency range. You won't actually hear it audible. But there is a way to amplify that.
Right.
Where you could probably hear, if missing in that lower frequency. So then you take the CPAP clip or the rain clip and you get it down below 19 to 20 hertz and you run that while you're doing an EVP session. And even though you're not hearing it, they are.
Right.
Then you take that recording and you amplify it and see whether or not they were able to use that. If you get more EVPs or, in that lower frequency that you didn't know you were getting.
Right.
And that's one of the interesting things about paranormal investigation is finding out things that or experimenting with things that's beyond what you would think of the normal. That's why it's called paranormal, I guess. But like low frequencies, you can't hear it, but your dog probably could. If I played that frequency, my dog may actually hear it.
Right.
Or a cat or a pet mouse if you got one. Anything, that's like how animals can see at night where we can't, because they have that ability, their pupils change.
Yeah.
They get a broader, how would I explain what I'm trying to say here? They take in more light where there is none because
Right.
of the way their pupils are designed. Okay, their hearing is the same way, basically. They hear things out of the range that what we would normally hear. That's why the silent dog whistle works.
Right.
You blow a whistle, you don't hear nothing, but their ears just perk up and they're like, ah. shut up, you know. Uh, and to them, it may be excruciating. You blowing this whistle, right? You're not hearing shit, but it's driving them nuts. Same thing with that frequency. They might hear that where we wouldn't. But I would love to be able to do that, to take even that white noise generator that we were talking about and get the sound down to like 19 hertz or so, and play that with a recorder and do an EVP session and be able to amplify that recording after after you save it or whatever it is you're doing.
Right.
Amplify that up to where it's at a decibel where we can actually hear and just see what comes through there. That'd be really interesting to do. There's another experiment. See, I'm trying to help you here. And Bo gave me the idea. You gotta give his eminence the credit for it. See,
Nice.
yeah, because it was Bo knows it was his idea.
I'm sorry, just getting over being sick.
The sound of me chewing on deep fried pork rinds. Okay. Now that's a good one. Okay, you gotta get a recording of yourself chewing on deep fried pork rinds, because Bo said that would work. So chew up some pork rinds and record it and everything, and take it down below 19 decibels and see if you can get anything from it. That'd be cool. And then we can say, yeah, this is Bo's idea. We'd have to give him all the credit. And of course, if you told people that it actually worked, I guarantee you could go to Walmart tomorrow and there wouldn't be a pork rind bag one on the dang shelf. Everybody'd run out and buy all them suckers up. I've been trying to find ghosts of chicken in my local park. I pretend I'm looking for my lost puppy. I've had a lot of luck with real kids. Just wondering if it can catch some ghosts also. Oh, I love Bo. Bo is just a trip. But he knows everything, see? And that's why he's so amazing. Just ask him, he'll tell you. Oh, you should hear some of his songs. Artist also, right?
Hmm?
And he goes into the Jerkhart studio and produces albums and stuff. Yeah, seriously. We played one. We played one on the show the other night.
Okay.
It was one of his greatest hits, and I actually what's the word? Co-wrote it with him.
Okay.
And so, yeah, if you ever get a chance to listen to "Looking Out My Backyard," listen to it.
Okay.
Yeah, Bo's quite the artist. So he's the Grand Poobah of the paranormal. He's also the Grand Poobah of music. He's amazing. So you just need to check out his page and stuff. You'll love it. So go do that. Go do that first chance you get.
Okay.
And who else would think of creating a frequency with chewing on fried pork rinds? How amazing Bo is. I see you over there trying to hold a straight face when I'm serious though. Fried pork rinds. You just you just record that up and everything, and get it to the same frequency. The EVPs you can get would just be phenomenal, over the top. You guys, I don't know about y'all, but we've had a blast doing this. And I think we've covered a lot of interesting information. Some new things to try. anybody that's brave enough to try some of these experiments that we've discussed here. And Frank there's going to still be doing some more experiments, and we are going to, him and I are going to get together, and we're going to set up another show here in the future, here soon, to where he can actually test some of these apps
Yeah.
for y'all live, so that you can actually see what they do and what they're supposed to do. Well, we'll explain what they're supposed to do, and then you can hear them and see how they actually work and all that kind of stuff. I think that'd be really cool. Now I plan on doing Wednesday and Friday show this week, and then I might do one Monday. I'm not sure, but I'm getting ready to go in for a major surgery on the 31st. So things are probably going to die down for a short while, maybe a week or two. Just so everybody knows where I went and why I'm not here. I can't promise you that I won't pop up on Facebook occasionally because I'm stubborn like that. But as far as what I understood from the lady at the hospital, I will be in ICU for a few days so they can monitor me and all that stuff. Now, when she said a few days, she didn't say how many days a few days is. So I can't give anybody a definite. I'm going to assume probably at least 5 days to, a week or something like that. And hopefully once they okay me to come out of there, maybe they'll let me come home. No promises, but and I doubt if they would let me have my laptop in ICU, so I probably won't be able to come on and talk to anybody or anything like that. So I'll probably be out of pocket for a few days after the 31st, so, or as of the 31st. So just so everybody knows where I'm at, what's going on, and why I'm not around. I'm sure Frank here and Bo and CJ and Dita and all of them, they'll keep everybody going for me. Use some of my sense of humor so everybody will think I'm still here. Like, say something totally ignorant and off the wall, and they'll say, "Oh, Roger's here." But anyway, really enjoyed doing this. I hope everybody over there in the chat room will pop back here for a second. I hope you guys all enjoy. I have enjoyed him a lot. He was a good guest and cleared up some things for me. See, you did a good job there, dude.
Thank you.
It's been a lot of fun, and Bo, I appreciate you popping in here and giving us these good pointers and all this kind of stuff. And Frank's going to try the deep fried pork rinds. We'll make sure he does a test on that so we can verify that once and for all.
The pork rind test.
Thank you. Thanks everybody for all the praises and everything. We had fun. Hope y'all had fun. We got about probably less than a minute left. Frank, if you got some links you want to give out to people that can come check out your videos and whatnot, now'd be a good time to do that.
Okay. I'm Horror Dude 84. You can check me out on my channel on YouTube, Dude Games. Capital DUDE space GAMEZ. Dude Games. Boom. You can check me out there. They're Let's Play videos. I play video games, horror mostly. There's paranormal stuff if you scroll all the way to the bottom. Find me on Facebook. You can find me through Roger if you know Roger. Other than that, I'm on Google Plus and Twitter. Pretty much it.
Dude, Dita put in our Dude Games. Dude Games.
Yeah, DUDE space GAMEZ. It'll show up as a little digital guy smoking a cigarette.
Okay, you guys, it's time to shut down. Had a ball. Frank, thanks so much, buddy, for coming on and sharing with us.
Not a problem.
And we will do the live test and everything, and show people what this stuff look. We'll have to set this up for after I get over all my woes from surgery and all that. So
Okay.
it'll probably be middle of April-ish, toward the end of April-ish, somewhere around there. Make sure you have a device that we can use to be able to show.
Yeah.
And we'll show everybody what some of this stuff looks like and how it works and all that kind of stuff. And we'll just have a good old time.
Yep.
All right, people, I'm going to say good night for now. I'll be back Wednesday, and Frank here is going to co-host Wednesday night's Ghostly Stories with me, just so everybody knows. So you will see him again this
Yep.
Wednesday, and after the first week of April or so, second week of April, when I come back and I'm able to do this, we will be doing Wednesday night Ghostly Stories for y'all. And of course, James Clumperns, he co-hosts with me on Friday when we do the Ghostly Stories on Friday. So all of that will pick back up as soon as I am able to sit and do the work to get everything together to do that. So
Yep.
until then, good night, everybody. Sleep well, have fun, and never give up.